This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Katharina Thanderz over Zoom. Katharina, first and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. And you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Just reflect on for me, kind of this lockdown period. You haven't fought for quite a while yet. How have you found kind of trying to train through it, Katharina?
Lockdown was quite good, actually. I mean, it was not good, but I was able to train every day. Luckily, I have a nice house with a garden, and my trainer, my boxing coach, doesn't live very far away from my house, so he was actually able to come to my house and do some pad work with me and train with me every day. So in that sense, it was really good. I trained a lot. I stayed very active, and then I think it was from the start of May we were allowed to go back to the gym here in Spain. So yeah.
How frustrating a period has this been for yourself? Do you feel like you've lost a portion of your career because of this coronavirus, or are you thankful just being able to work on different things?
Yeah, I always try to see the bright side of everything, and of course I would have wished to be in the ring before, of course, but the situation has been like this for everyone. So yeah, I've been focusing on doing things that we can't do normally in our normal days. So we've been working on things that was necessary to work on. And I do feel that I have improved a lot in certain things, and I think that's the positive part. Yeah, so I definitely think that next time I will be in the ring, I have improved the version of myself, which is the most important.
Just before we come on to the next time we expect to see you in the ring, let's go back over these last few months. What have you made of boxing's return, especially female boxing? Because it's built up an even stronger following, and a lot of people are interested in following women's boxing now on the back of some brilliant fights that we've seen.
Yeah, and I think that's what female boxing needs. We need to see good female fights, and we have seen that now lately. And of course, that makes people think that it's interesting to watch. It makes people want to see more of the female fights, and so some of the fights have been really incredible, like the one between Terri Harper and Jonas. I think nobody really expected that kind of fight, and it was a really big war from the start to the end, and that's what people wants to see. So in the end of the day, it has to do with boxing and not female boxing and males boxing, and that's a really good thing. I think we're on a good way.
Is that kind of a key goal, like for not just yourself but for any female boxer? For even me saying women's boxing, we've seen a lot of people just refer to it as just normal boxing now. They've taken away having to say women's or female boxing beforehand. Is that kind of what everybody's striving towards?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the main goal. That we're all fighters. Yeah, you can be male or female, but in the end of the day, we're both fighters. And yeah, I also hope for equal rules on the boxing, that we can go 3 minutes and so on. Yeah, but that's another thing.
We'll come on to that we can come on to that in a little while, but just to go back to the fights, Terri Harper, Tasha Jonas, briefly touched on it. Just reflect on that for me, Katharina. What was your thoughts on their fight, and how did you score it personally?
Well, I have to say that I was a bit surprised when everybody was kind of underestimating Natasha Jonas. But boxing is a little bit like that. You lose one time and then it's like they forget about your whole career, and that's not really fair. So I was a little surprised about so many people underestimating her, and I was really glad that she could show that, you know, you can actually lose once, but doesn't mean that you're how do you say it, that you're finished as a fighter. So I thought it was a great fight. I couldn't sit still, you know. I was very excited about the fight. Personally, I think it was a close fight. But like, if I would have to choose one of them, I would actually say Natasha Jonas. Yeah, I mean, not with a lot of difference, but I did have her winning the fight.
You're the mandatory for that WBC title, which is now held or still held by Terri Harper. When you reflect on their fight, though, in your opinion, who do you feel would be the toughest or the easier opponent for yourself? Would it have been Tasha, or will it be Terri when you do eventually face her?
Who I think would give me a more difficult fight?
Yeah, that's what my question was.
Well, that's always very difficult to answer. I don't know. I think both of them would give me a difficult fight, because both of them are great fighters. So, you know, it would just be two very different kind of fights. Natasha Jonas is southpaw. Terri Harper is orthodox. So, you know, it would be two different fights for sure. But it's difficult to say who would give me the most difficult fight.
Having watched that fight, though, do you take confidence from how Tasha performed, and do you see weaknesses in Terri that you can exploit when you do eventually meet?
Yeah, yes, of course I do. Yeah, I have been studying her, of course, during a quite long time now. I guess she's doing the same, which is the normal thing to do when you're gonna fight. So yeah, of course I've seen some weak points that we're working on, and yeah.
Talk to me about that fight, Katharina. When can we expect to hear an announcement on it? I know the WBC have ordered your fight with her now. When can we expect to hear something?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think it would. I think it will be happening quite soon. I think before the year is over, hopefully. So I'm just waiting to hear something from my promotion from Sauerland, and yeah. And just in case, I'm training hard. So yeah.
What type of fight do you expect it to be when you're in the ring with Terri? We've just seen her have a 12-round brawl with Tasha. What do you expect it to be, though? How do you expect your fight with her to play out?
I actually prefer not to talk about that, because that's a bit, you know, like our game plan and our strategy. So so yeah, I think I will keep that for myself.
Moving forward, Katharina, away from that one, just want to touch on a couple of other fights. Did you get the chance to watch Katie Taylor versus Delphine Purify too? If so, what were your thoughts?
Well, I think I think Katie Taylor is a really, really, really skilled fighter. And I hear some comments here and there about people saying that it was a draw. I really don't know what kind of fight they saw. For me, Katie Taylor did great, and she won the fight. Of course, yeah, Delphine Purify is brave. She went forward and she was punching the whole time. But I mean, you couldn't see the boxing skills in her as you could see in Katie Taylor moving. She was slick. She was fast, explosive, and you know, showing why she's one of the best female fighters that we've ever had. So I think she did great. I think she won the fight, you know, with a good difference. So I don't really see the opinion of people saying that it was a draw or that Delphine Purify won the fight or whatever. For me, it wasn't like that.
Big respect up here, Katharina. Yeah, talk about pressure. We've seen some brilliant fights just after lockdown. Does that bring a pressure to yourself to deliver something similar with Terri when the pair of you are finally in the ring?
No, I don't feel the pressure about that. You know, I know I love to fight. I know that she loves to fight, and I know we're both good boxers. So I'm sure it will be, you know, an entertaining fight for the people that will watch it. And you know, yeah. So I don't feel any pressure for that. I just feel really happy because I know that I will enjoy it a lot. So yeah.
Victory for yourself, what would it actually mean for you personally? Just explain to me how much it would mean to you to be able to call yourself a world champion.
Well, it will mean really a lot. I mean, I've been training and working for this for so many years. So yeah, you know, I've been training, and yeah, it has been very difficult sometimes, but I've always, you know, continued and continued and continued. So I've always believed that I could achieve that goal. So it would mean everything. Yeah.
Katharina, one more point before I let you go, because I know we've had a couple of issues throughout the interview, just technically. Jessica McCaskill versus Cecilia Blackhouse 2, obviously that was announced. What are your thoughts on that one, and how do you see that fight playing out?
Well, I actually that fight, I think that the main difference between both of the fighters and the reason why they gave the fight to Jessica McCaskill was just about attitude. I mean, that's my opinion. You could see Cecilia Brækhus, like, I don't know, like she was not focused in the fight, that she didn't show that she really wanted to win, and that was what we saw in Jessica McCaskill. And actually, I have to say, like myself, when I saw the statistics of the fights, I was actually surprised about that. It was quite equal, but it was just the attitude difference was so big between Jessica and Cecilia that, you know, I think it was fair that they gave the fights to Jessica McCaskill. But I also do think that if there is a rematch, I do think Cecilia Brækhus is a better boxer. So if she uses her knowledge and she moves how we've seen her in other fights, I also do think that she can win a fight against Jessica McCaskill. But she needs to show that she wants to win as well. And
sorry. I was just going to say, I thought you'd finished, so I apologise for that. And I was just going to kind of end the interview there to save ourselves from any further technical issues. But final word, what would you like to say to Terri Harper? A little message for her at all?
No, that she has to be prepared as she will, that she has to be prepared as she always is. And yeah, I hope she's training really hard.
Katharina, it's been a pleasure to speak to you once again. I'm sure I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you for your time, and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.